What's up, my fellow thumb wielders? Picture this. You walk into a bakery excited for a donut, but when you open the box, surprise, it's just a hole. That's essentially what's happening to big cities like New York, San Francisco, and Chicago. Stanford economist Nicholas Bloom calls it the donut effect. And no, it's not because people are eating more during remote work. So what's the donut effect? It's the hollowing out of city centers. During the pandemic, people realized, wait a minute, I don't have to live in a shoebox apartment for the privilege of hearing my upstairs neighbor clog dance at 2 a.m. So they fled to the suburbs, leaving behind empty offices, quiet streets, and way too many pigeons. Cities became like a New Year's party on January 2nd. Just a bunch of leftover confetti and regrets. According to Bloom's research, the 12 largest U.S. cities lost 8% of their downtown populations. And guess where they went? 2/3 moved to the suburbs. These aren't just families. These are high-income workers. Basically, the people who funded overpriced lattes and yoga studios downtown are now buying lawnmowers and hosting BBQs. Turns out, once people got a taste of working from home, they realized their office chairs weren't nearly as comfy as their couch or their dog. This shift has real consequences. Cities are losing property tax revenue because office buildings are sitting empty. Public transit agencies are struggling because, surprise, people don't need a subway to get from their bed to their kitchen. Downtowns have become ghost towns, or as I like to call them, Instagram backgrounds for urban explorers. You know things are bad when even Starbucks is like, hey, let's skip this location. Meanwhile, the suburbs are living their best life. Real estate prices are climbing, and suburban coffee shops are finally getting some love. It's like the city and the suburbs had a breakup, and the suburbs are posting thirst traps on Zillow. I can just see suburban mayors saying, we don't have skyscrapers, but we have Costco. Who's winning now? The good news? The donut isn't growing any bigger. But experts like Bloom say cities need to make some hard choices, think cutting budgets, raising taxes, or rethinking how downtown spaces are used. Maybe turn those empty offices into affordable housing. I mean, how about letting regular folks live where hedge fund managers used to shout into phones? Affordable housing in a former high-rise? That's the kind of irony even Alanis Morissette would appreciate. And it's not just an American phenomenon. Cities like Sydney, Berlin, and Toronto are seeing their own donut effects. But smaller U.S. cities like Des Moines or Cleveland are like, what donut? We're just glad people are still showing up. Smaller cities are basically saying, you can't hollow out a donut that's already a munchkin. So there you have it, the donut effect. It's reshaping how we think about cities, work, and where we live. But hey, at least the suburbs have good donuts.